just read the first sentence in that one and then read it in this one.
Shh. Look engaged.
Check the footnotes. Check the footnotes. Rashi. Those. Exact same page, exact same print, exact same word for word, letter for letter. 300 years, no broken telephone.
Latter year.
פסולה שלא לשמה אף השם פסול שלא לשמו. יוסי בן חוני אומר הנשחטים לשם פסח ולשם חטאת הפסולים שמעון אחי עזריה אומר
Yeah, it's pretty much the
I think I might have found it.
Did you guys get a look back there?
One to one. Even the footnotes. In fact, when I once mentioned this to a Talmudic scholar who said, "Great, I got to come over with this. I have a question on our print, and I'm sure that our print had a mistake. You have a 315-year-old Talmud. I want to check the original print to see, because I'm sure they made a mistake." He opens it up. He said, "Oh, great. He looks at." I was wrong. It's still exactly the same.
This is art inside. Art inside.
So, when we talk about how Torah is transmitted from generation to generation, not only do we talk about who, but we talk about how. How we transmit Torah is as well as an unbroken chain. I would like to show you another piece of this, because how many of you had a chance to look into a Torah scroll?
Really look?
The average Torah scroll, the Torah scroll is made out of leather parchment, and it's bound, sewn together with sinews from animals as well. Average Torah scroll lasts about 300 years. I want to show you just a little example of that. If you can reach up on the top there, the bank, there's another one of those.
I want my basement to look like
There's that one, yeah.
I want my living room and dining room to look like this.
And then there's another cardboard too, like this.
Wow, it's a Megillah. I want to cry.
Usually people make their basements with like sports
In a couple of
posters.
months, it's going to
Pool
be formed.
tables.
I'm going to read the Megillah. This is Megillah that my father-in-law carried through the Holocaust.
Come on.
Family Megillah.
This guy just has artifacts sitting in the basement. His insurance is really good. God forbid. Oh my gosh, look at that Megillah.
Prepared. By the age of it, it's a good 200 years old. The way that a Megillah or a Torah is written is the scribe has to have an original in front of him, and he sits with this in front of him, and on the table he has the fresh parchment. He dips his quill into the ink and reads the first word, spells it out, and writes it. Reads the second word, spells it, and writes it. When he's done, it has to be checked by 3 other scribes before it's allowed to go into circulation. The average Megillah Torah scroll parchment will last 300 years. I have the distinct honor of having a son who is a scribe.
Wow. Wow.
And the first thing he did, as he learned to become a scribe, Megillah. So his first Megillah, I commissioned.
That's where it is.
This one is practically 10 years old.
Your son did that, Rebbe? Wow.
And it took him years of training. He's a veritable Torah scholar in his own right. trained to write Megillah, tried to write Torahs. We have in our synagogue, we have his first Sefer Torah that he completed, and he's now on his third and fourth Torah.
Wow.
It takes approximately
A year.
2 months to write a Megillah. It takes about a year to 2 years, depending on how
write a
fast
Sefer
it's
Torah.
writes to write a whole Sefer Torah. He reads every word, transcribe it. What's the likelihood that he made a mistake?
Very likely.
Highly unlikely. Probabilities are down to pretty small because not only that, it was checked 3 times before it was. And right now, as what we do is we take these now, they run them through a computer. The computer double checks them anyway. So the computer checked for accuracy. So what's the probability of a mistake in transmission? Very little. How long ago did we receive the Torah?
10, 15 years.
About 3,320 some odd years, and let's see what's now about 7 months and 14 days since we got the first Torah at Mount Sinai. Okay, we got a mathematician. If an average Torah scroll lasts 300 years, and it's 3,300 years since we received the first one, how many copies? 11 copies. Back to the first one that Moshe Rabbeinu brought to the Jewish people. How many mistakes do you think we got?
Not a lot.
I don't know.
Wow.
So when we talk about the link and the connection to Torah, it's not only a hypothetical, it's not only a history for us, it's a life. It's how we transmit it and how we receive it, and how we want to transmit it and give it over to our future. Because it's real.
It's real.
Not a hypothetical.
No.
Okay.
That's so cool.
So if we say that we want to understand how this wonderful legacy is transmitted, the answer is we will study, we learn, and we ask a lot of questions. Because anybody who's going to come up with a new approach, we want to make sure that the link goes all the way back to the way it was given to Moshe Mount Sinai. So that we ask questions, and it's one of the things that differentiates Judaism from almost every other religion in the world. We are a people of questions. I've even said, somewhat tongue-in-cheek, that when we talk about the chosen people, that it's a misnomer. We're the choosing people. We're always choosing. Do we have the connection? Do we understand it? Can we transmit it? Okay, thank you. And so, now's your chance to ask any question that you ever wanted to ask, but were embarrassed to ask.
Do it.
Because if I'm right, there's got to be an answer in Torah somewhere. Because the creator of the world was the one who transmitted the Torah. And if he's infinite, then the Torah must be infinite. And the wisdom that he transmitted to us must also be infinite. So, while I'm not infinite, but we do have access to a wellspring of infinite knowledge. God's own wisdom. Just for the record, fun with the rest of this. This is my grandfather's Talmud, with his footnotes in it. This is a Talmud that I received from a rabbi who was in, I think, Toledo, Ohio. Passed away, and his children gave us this entire Vilna Talmud. And a variety of other texts with which there is, for most of them, a historical link. Maybe one more. This is some a little bit risky. Let me right there.
Yay.
Listen, see if my wife will let me do it.
I wish I had a pause button.
I can't believe that just blew my mind. That since